Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is CB Harris. Today we're going to take a look at this. This is the Krypteia Lycos. Krypteia Knives is a company out of Iceland. The knife maker is actually, he's Greek, living in Iceland, making some awesome custom knives. And these are imported into the United States and distributed by Hallmark Cutlery. So down below I'm going to put links to both of their websites, the Krypteia Knives as well as Hallmark Cutlery, for you guys who live here in the United States. So let me tell you just a little bit about this knife in particular and some of the options that you have available to you. Now, if you go to Hallmark Cutlery's webpage and you look at their tactical knives, you're going to come up with, there's a whole bunch of Krypteia knives. So there's a pretty wide variety, and this is just one of them. This is considered a mid-sized knife. They're calling this a 7.5 centimeter blade, which is approximately 3 inches. Okay, it's right in that range for those of us who don't understand the metric system. And the width of the blade is 0.5 centimeters or 5 millimeters, which puts it right at about the 3/16 inch. Now, the overall length is 19.5, so that's going to work out to about 7.5 inches. So it is a kind of a, not necessarily small blade, but it is, they consider this mid-size. So they also have some large blades on there, so be sure to check that out if that's something that you're interested in. Now, one of the things that I noticed right off the bat is the color of the blade. Now, you guys can see this. This is Ceracoated. This is a Flat Dark Earth. There's a couple of other options too. So let's start out with the handle. The handle, you have the option of black like you see here. There is a Coyote tan, and there's an OD green. And so the handle is a G10, which is a laminate type of material that is very, shapeable into different forms. It's a pretty good material. It is smooth, but at the same time, it's not slick. So, and the handle, this bears out with that. I know it looks very almost Stone Age and kind of, blocky and stuff, but it's actually a very comfortable handle to hold. It's very well finished as well. The blade options, what you have, you can get it in this color. This is the Flat Dark Earth. It's also available in gun blue, as well as armor black, a burnt bronze, a sniper gray, Magpul gray, and Magpul OD green. So there's quite a few options as far as your blade color as well as your handle color, mix and match type of thing to come up with something that you want. So this is O1 tool steel, worked by that knife maker in Iceland, and this is, the whole line of knives just screams style. They have some good styling to them. I really like the lines on this knife. Now, this is the Lycos. It is kind of a tanto type of look to it. It has a little belly, so it has a little bit of curve to it too, and it is a drop point. The blade, I like the blade. I personally prefer a plain edge. I'm not, I don't like the partial serrations, and this is a good looking knife for sure. It also has a pretty generous finger groove there, and that's to keep your hand from slipping off and sliding down the blade and slicing some fingers off. We have some jimping on the back in the normal spot where your thumb would be, but we also have some jimping on the back near the pommel, and that's going to allow you, a little bit of more control if you're using your thumb on the back on a reverse grip, just to control the blade a little bit more. It also has a very generous sized lanyard hole there, very useful if you want to use a lanyard. I do like to use lanyards on my knives sometimes, especially if it's somewhere where it's cold and wet and stuff like that, just so I'm not losing my knife and dropping it somewhere. Okay, so you guys are wondering now, I'm sure, what is the price? This blade here, as you see it here, is $268, and I know that sounds like a lot of money, 268 bucks, but I challenge you guys to do a search for a custom knife, and you're going to see that that actually is a pretty decent price. So some of the things that I really like about this knife, I really like the style. Again, I like the curves of it. I like the tanto look, but it's not a normal tanto look. It doesn't have the straight blocky type of look to it. It has some curves to it. I like the finger groove. It's a pretty deep finger groove, and I like the jimping both where the thumb would be as well as on the back. That's pretty cool. It's very sharp. Okay, this is a test and evaluation version. There's some marks on it from before I even got this thing. So it has been used, and it's still extremely, extremely sharp. Let me show you what I'm talking about here. This is coming, as a test and evaluation version, and it still has an edge like that. I would show you where I shaved some hair off my arm, but I'm not going to shave anymore because it's starting to go bald now, so we're not going to do that. But I can show you here. We have a piece of pretty thick leather here, and it's slicing through the leather without any issues. So Definitely a sharp blade. It's definitely a useful point. I actually really like the tanto because when you're slicing something, it puts a lot of pressure at that single point. So for slicing something, you get a nice, good clean slice when you're doing that. So there is one area that I really wish they would improve, and that is the sheath. There's nothing wrong with the sheath. It's fine. It is functional. It locks into place. It does protect the blade. It's a Kydex, and it is 125 thousandths, and it's riveted together. You can see it's kind of a fold-over style. The problem I have with it is it's really just pretty plain. Okay, there's nothing special about it. We don't even, I don't know if the typical ones come with a belt loop, but the version that I got here didn't come with a belt loop. So I do wish that it had a little bit more style to it, but it is very functional. So anyway, guys, I hope you guys will check this out. Again, I will put the links down below, both to Krypteia Knives website as well as Hallmark Cutlery. So be sure to check that out down in the description. And if you enjoyed the video, it's always appreciated when you like and share. And if you're not a subscriber and you want to see more videos like this, knife reviews, gear reviews, things like that, find that subscribe button down below, give it a big old click, and then come back and watch another video. And remember, your mind, that's your most important weapon, and it's important to be armed with information. Until next time, take care and be safe. Charlie Bravo, out.